Good evening, everybody. It's me again, John McCracken, also known as the Loudoun Biker. Why don't you join me in praise of the evening cycle? So normally I would start one of my wee monologues by telling you where we're off to today, but instead we're heading nowhere in particular this evening, and that's because it is the evening time. Now, if like me you live in the northern hemisphere, at this time of year where we are, especially in Scotland, the sun is still shining brightly at 10 o'clock at night. So right now it's 10 to 8 and I've got two and a half hours of daylight left. Now, I've been stuck in all day. I had a migraine yesterday. It's actually been stiflingly warm in Scotland, which is unusual. And yesterday wasn't a great day. Had lots of interviews and presentations that didn't go as planned. And so do you know what? I decided I needed out. And the evening cycle is perfect for that, because it can fit in so many things. And tonight, it's a wee mental health break. One thing I really like about an evening cycle at this time of year is if it has been warm all day, it's going to be nice and cool at night, and maybe you can hear the wind rushing past the Crammer, but that's a nice cool breeze. If this had been a weekend day, I probably would have went out during the day, but it would have been stiflingly hot. So coming out in the evening, it does mean you get a nice breeze. It's a little bit cooler, so no matter what type of cycling you're doing, it's going to be a wee bit more comfortable. And as you can see from where I am in one of my favourite back roads tonight, it's particularly beautiful. Now, I'm out on the Chris Hoy cycle path again, and this is a path I'm on all the time. But one of the things I was going to say about an evening cycle is the sun is lower in the sky, and I don't know about you, but I think that evening sunlight can make somewhere, if not look, but feel completely different. And sometimes when we're tired of the local roads that we're on, just that wee bit of a change in the sunlight and how something looks can make it feel like it's just that wee bit fresher. Anyway, let's crack on. You kind of get that similar effect of your routes looking different if you're out on a morning cycle. But what you tend to find with a morning cycle is if you go out early, it's turning into something you already know. Whereas if the sun's going down, it's always just adapting into something you're not quite sure what's coming next. But it's still really nice. Either way, morning, noon or night, get out on the bike. One advantage to coming out in the evening, as you'll see, this is about as main road as I'll get this evening. But you come out in the evening, the traffic's a lot less busier, so it's a wee bit quieter. But I would say, even though it's a lot less busier, a wee tail light and possibly a wee front light, and maybe I'm being a wee bit hypocritical because I don't have one on tonight. Yeah, a wee light never goes amiss. But yeah, you're more likely to get more of the road to yourself in the evening. And this is Kilmarnock we're in an area called New Farmloch, which is where the lone biker grew up and fell in love with cycling in his BMX and mountain bike. Anyway, let's crack on. Now, thinking about what kind of ride you can do of the evening, well, it's really up to you, and I think that sometimes depends on when you've had your dinner. So I'd already had my dinner, so going for a full hard training session, or like you saw in my video last week, going and doing an evening crit race, maybe not a good idea. But that is the other type of riding you can do. For instance, in Loudoun Road Club that I'm a member of, Tuesday night is their training night. Now, I don't often get across to Mauchline to join in, but they have a wee route called Fox Hollow which they enjoy going hell for leather on, and then I'm sure they go home and have their dinner. Likewise, you can put in some solo training efforts or find some midweek gravel races, but it is up to you. Now, just going to pull over to the side here, and this just came to me. About 10-15 years ago, the late Dr. Michael Mosley did a programme on the telly about what you eat, all about the 5-2 diet and how people are eating different ways for longevity. And he did a study with Glasgow University where he had a big full Scottish breakfast from the University Cafe. If you're in Glasgow, I recommend it. And then straight after it, they took a blood sample and they put the blood in the centrifugal machine, span it all out and separated it. And the amount of fat that was in his bloodstream was quite high, considering the big west of Scotland fatty breakfast he'd just had. Now, he went back the next day, he had the same breakfast, but after it, he went for a real brisk walk. And then they did the experiment again, and the amount of fat in his bloodstream was significantly reduced. So, it probably is quite good as an after dinner thing, again depending on what you've eaten, to just head out for a cycle. Now, when he did his exercise, he wasn't sprinting, he wasn't doing hard runs, he was just out for a brisk walk. So a nice leisurely cycle is going to do the same thing. And obviously, having fatty acids and deposits in your bloodstream is not good for your heart or your health in general. So there's another wee thing we can take from an evening cycle. Right, all that talk of breakfasts, can't wait for tomorrow now. But as we're saying tonight, let's crack on. I just took the glasses off because it's just getting that wee bit more shady. However, maybe not a great idea because we're in prime Ayrshire farming land, and with all the cows and sheep round about, there's plenty of flies, and a whole family of them have tried to get into my eyes already, so let's put the glasses back on. So I've just stopped at a wee Instagrammable spot that I stop at quite a lot for tonight's Instagram moments, and I just thought I'd add another wee thought about an evening cycle. Do you know what, the strange thing is, it almost feels wrong to be out in an evening cycle. You almost feel like a kid again, like you've snuck out the house to do something you shouldn't have been doing, which I really quite like. And it is that kind of odd sensation, because even in the summer, 8, 9 o'clock at night, even 7 o'clock at night, it's that time you're normally settling down. So it's nice to be out. And one of the other thoughts I had was, we don't often get amazing weather like this. So sometimes the worst of your weather can land right in your weekend. So get out and get this weather while you can, is what I would say. And also, there are many of us that I'm fortunate enough that I don't work weekends because I'm a school teacher. And many of us have families that are busy at the weekend and we've got prior engagements on. And so sometimes midweek might be the only time to get out and cycle. So don't sit there thinking, oh, I wish I could go out on the bike. Go out on the bike and look at my video about in praise of 20 miles. You don't even need to do 20 miles. Just get out and do something. Go on your local mountain bike trails. You know, get the wee folding bike out and head down the shops. Put for a wee Coca-Cola or a wee cheeky beer, whatever your poison is. But just get out and ride. There was a mountain bike magazine in the early noughties that I used to read called MBR, and that's what its tagline was just get out and ride. And I use that tagline for so much that just get out and ride, you'll never regret it. Anyway, we are on the way home. We're just about to cross this wee bridge and head across a bit of gravel, a couple of wee bits of single track, and then I'll head back up the cycle path and home, and I'll check in with you at the end. And if you can hear the sheep in the background, there they are there, making lots of noise. They're enjoying their evening, and so am I. Here we are, back in the garage, and I hope you enjoyed joining me for a wee bit of roaming in the gloaming. Now I'm going to wrap up pretty quickly because one of those famous Scottish pieces of wildlife, the midgie, is descending. That's the only downside to this time of year and this time of night. The midgies come out to play, and I've got too much bare skinning show for that to be safe. But I hope you liked my wee journey in the evening, and I hope you get something out of it. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Leave a comment down below and I'll have a read at it. But I certainly needed that, and remember, just like I said before, just get out and ride. You will never regret a cycle once it's finished. Anyway, if you enjoyed my wee video and you've enjoyed watching my channel, please remember to click that subscribe button and like below, and I'll check out later, and we'll catch up with you another time. See you later.